Hey guys, it's Baze. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a colored vinyl collection update. I did post one about a year ago, so if you'd like to check that out, make sure to do that. Let's just get right into it. And if you like what you see, if you would subscribe, like, and comment, I'd really appreciate it. And I would love to know which of these pressings is your favorite. Alright, so first up, we have Badlands by Halsey. And in my last video, I mentioned that I really wanted this album but couldn't find the pressing of it. And in December, I found it, finally, and so I'm thrilled. This is on a really pretty light blue vinyl with the pink in the center. I think this is so pretty. I'm really happy to have it in my collection. It's my favorite album of Halsey's, and yeah. My favorite tracks off this would have to be Colors, Haunting, and A Castle. Really good album. Next up, I have Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. This is an amazing album. I was super happy when it came out. I love this vinyl. It's just, you can tell there was a lot of effort put into it. Like, the gatefold is really cool. They had a bunch of different versions you could choose from, but I love the hot pink personally, and so it's just unique. I don't have one like this in my collection, and yeah, this one's really pretty to look at. My favorite songs off of this are Driver's License, Deja Vu, and Traitor, but all of the songs are fantastic. Next up, I have The Score by Fugees, and I love this album. I didn't actually know it when I got it, but it's become one of my favorite rap albums. It's so good, and the pressing is really unique. It's a little bit clear, and then it has white swirl to it. So I think this is really cool. Just a nice different one. My favorite songs off of this are Family Business, The Mask, and How Many Mics. Next up, I have Butter Miracle Sweet One by Counting Crows, who's one of my favorite bands of all time. I'm thrilled with this EP. It was everything I could have wanted. It was so well done. This is just a black vinyl, but I did want to include it because it was the only one that was black since my last video. But if I had to recommend one song off this, I would do The Tall Grass because it's an EP, but all 4 songs are fantastic. Here we are with Star-Crossed by Casey Musgraves. I am not a country person, but I do love Casey Musgraves. She's my exception. And this is really cool with the way it opens, I think. I've never seen one like that before. And this is the Target exclusive orange vinyl, which I think is so pretty. It suits the album really well, and it's just really nice. My favorite songs off this one are Justified, Cherry Blossom, and probably Simple Times. Alright, next up I have Stevie Wonder's Number Ones. This is great because it's a collection of all of his best or most popular songs, and I've really enjoyed listening to this one. This is pressed on a translucent red vinyl, and I have a lot of red vinyl because it's my favorite color, and so I think if I see it, I just constantly go after it, but this is a really nice one, and I'm glad I have it in my collection. My favorites off of this are probably Uptight, Superstition, and I Just Called to Say I Love You. Next up is Made in the AM by One Direction, who are my favorite band. I'm so excited to have this. I've been waiting for so long for them to press One Direction's vinyl, and finally they started doing it. This was the only one of the ones so far I've been able to pick up. They sell out really fast, and the one that I pre-ordered did not arrive. It's on back order, I think. So, but I'm super happy to have this one. One of my favorite albums of theirs. and I really like this pressing. It goes well with the album. My favorites off of this are Infinity, If I Could Fly, and Drag Me Down. Great album. Here is Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone. Post Malone is one of my favorite artists, and this is a fantastic album. It's probably my favorite of his. And this is, I believe, the Target exclusive Translucent Green. This one is one of my favorite solid color pressings because it's just really cool to look at. It's really nice, and like I feel like this one has extra good playing quality, I've noticed. So I love this one, really glad to have it in my collection. My favorites off this are Saint Tropez, Circles, and that's so tough. I would probably say like Wow and Sunflower are up there, but the whole album is fantastic. Next up, I have Nevermind by Nirvana, and I absolutely love this. My dad loves Nirvana, is a diehard fan, and so I've been listening to them since I was really young, and I'm really happy to have this album. I love it. All of the songs are fantastic, so it's hard to pick, but I would say Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, and either In Bloom or Polly are going to be my top 3. Next up, we have the most recent vinyl that I've got. It's Big Colors by Ryan Adams. I love this album. Showtime is one of the songs on it, which is one of my favorites of all time. This is pressed on a red vinyl, and I just think this is so pretty. I love it. I also really like this because it came with a 7-inch vinyl, and I do not have any 7-inch vinyl before I got this one, so I'm really happy to have it. It's just black, so I'm not going to show it, but it's really nice, and I would like to get some more of those in the future. Next up is Confetti by Little Mix, who are one of my favorite bands as well. They are broken up, or at least on a break right now, and so I was sad about that, and then I was able to get this vinyl, and so I was happy about that. This is one of my favorite pressings. It's one of the coolest ones I have. It's this splattered one, very appropriate for the confetti theme. Yeah, this one's really cool, one of my most played records, just because I love the album, and then it looks really cool. My favorite songs off of this are Gloves Up, Holiday, and Breathe. Next up is Fearless by Taylor Swift. She's my favorite artist of all time, and I look up to her as a songwriter and as a person. I love Taylor, and I'm so excited that she's re-recording her albums and pressing them on these vinyl, and I'm really glad that this one was gold. It really suits the album, and yeah, I just love it. So this one has a little bit of a swirl that I don't know if the camera will pick up, but I've noticed with gold and silver vinyl, they all seem to have a swirl of some degree, and I don't know if that's a thing or not, but all of the gold and silver records that I have are like that. But it's really pretty, and I'm thrilled to have this in my collection. My favorites are probably Forever and Always, 15, and The Best Day. But the whole album's fantastic. Of the new tracks, I've been a really big fan of Bye Bye Baby and That's When, but all of them are really good. I was really happy with the bonus tracks. Next up is Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. This one has a really cool, like, glossy finish to the cover. I loved her first album and her first EP, and so I was really hoping that this would be a good album too, and it's fantastic. It's probably the best she's released in my opinion. Here is the light blue vinyl. There were a few different options, but this one was my favorite. I just really like the way it looks. I had hadn't seen a pale blue one quite like that before. So I love this album. My favorites off of this are Getting Older, Your Power, and Happier Than Ever. Here is Red by Taylor Swift, Taylor's version. I love this album. It's one of my very favorites of hers, and one that I was really looking forward to her re-recording. And the new tracks, the From the Vault tracks, are fantastic. All of them are amazing. Like, it's hard picking favorites with those, but I'm so thrilled with this. This is pressed on red vinyl. Yeah, obviously suits the red theme. They had done it on something else. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. So All Too Well is actually my favorite song of all time. The 10-minute version is my favorite now. But State of Grace and Begin Again are probably my next two favorites. Of the new tracks, I love Message in a Bottle and Nothing New. Another Taylor Swift vinyl, Evermore, which is my second favorite album of hers, which says a lot, because 1989 is my favorite, and it's my favorite album of all time. So this is up there with all the greatest albums in my opinion. The songwriting is just fantastic. So this is also pressed on a red vinyl, very similar to the last one, but I also feel like it works well with this album. And yeah, really, really good tracks on this. My favorites are probably Cowboy Like Me, Champagne Problems, and Evermore. This is Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette, and this is definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. It's so good, and I was really happy to finally find this on colored vinyl. I remember a couple times just searching for it, and I couldn't find it, and then Walmart came out with this edition of it, and it's just a simple clear vinyl, but it's really nice, and I really, really like this one a lot. My favorites off of this are All I Really Want, Ironic, and Not the Doctor, which is actually my favorite track on this album. Here is another Casey Musgraves, Pageant Material. I am only missing her first album now, so I really want to get that. But this is one of my favorite pressings I have, actually. It looks like strawberry ice cream. It's just light pink with like a darker pink swirl through it. I love this one. I was really happy to see it in person. It looked even cooler than on the website. My favorite tracks off this would have to be Somebody to Love, Miserable, and Die Fun, which are all like right next to each other. And so I love that middle section especially. It's so good. This is When My Heart Felt Volcanic by the Aces, who are one of my favorite bands. I was so happy to get this and to have both of their albums now. So this is actually two different pressings for each disc is different. So here's this really beautiful pink swirled splattered vinyl. I love this. And then the other side is blue. And I saw a bunch of different versions of this, and so I didn't know what I was going to get. And I'm so, so happy that I got the splattered version, because it's just really unique, and I wanted more like that in my collection. So here is the blue one. This is like just such a cool effect, like how far out it went. This is probably my favorite of the two for that reason, but both are really pretty. My favorites off of this are Stuck, Just Like That, and maybe Volcanic Love, but it's so close. All of those songs are so good. This is Sobrock by John Mayer, his most recent album. I love this album, and the vinyl for it is just, it really suits it well. It's like clear with a little bit of a greenish blue tint, and this is one of like the sturdiest vinyl I have ever held. Like compared to a black one, it's really sturdy actually. It's really thick. But yeah, I think this is a really beautiful pressing. My favorites off of this would have to be Shouldn't Matter But It Does, New Light, and Shot in the Dark. Really good album. Here is Purple Rain by Prince. This is another one of those that has the really cool glossy effect to it. I thought that was so cool. And this is also one of my favorite pressings. It's so beautiful. I don't know if the camera will pick up the swirl, but I just think it's really like fascinating to look at. Really good album. And my favorites off of this would have to be When Doves Cry, Take Me With You, and Purple Rain, but all of it is great. I love that album. Here is Equal by Ed Sheeran, and this is actually the last one. But I love this album, and I was really happy to get it. This one is another red vinyl, so I do have a lot of those. I really like them a lot. This one is just simple and nice and matches the album aesthetic. So yeah, I'm really loving listening to this one right now. My favorites are probably Shivers, First Times, and Collide. So yeah, that is it. That's my vinyl collection. I hope you enjoyed it. I also wanted to mention that I post original songs on this channel a lot, and I'd love if you would check those out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day. Bye.